What's going on, my wrestling fans? This is Austin Sweet, your host of Wrestling Talk. Welcome back to another episode of Wrestling Talk, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. And this is Season 4, Episode 7. That is right. We are nearly halfway done with Season 4. I know Season 4 is not as big or as many episodes as like the previous 3 seasons, with Season 1 being the most at 50. But I thought I would do something special for you guys and count down my top 5 favorite wrestlers. So this is just my top 5. This is my opinion. So I'm just going to go and jump right into the top 5, guys. And at number 5, I am going with CM Punk. Easily one of my favorites. He first got his start back in Ring of Honor, and then he made it to WWE in about 2006, and he wrestled for a little company called ECW, or the rebranded ECW, when WWE bought ECW in about 2006. He was still good. He was good, but he didn't really quite push the limit as he entered the WWE early in 2006. But as time went on, he started to grow on me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this dude is entertaining. So that's why he's sitting at number 5. His list of accomplishments are undeniable. 2-time Money in the Bank winner. He's a former ECW champion, a former Intercontinental champion, former World champion, and he was one of the superstars to hold the WWE Championship for the longest time at 434 days. He did leave the WWE for a little bit, but he actually got fired on his wedding day, and he left, and he said he would never come back to wrestling. And then he had a brief career in the UFC, and here we are, a few years later in 2021. CM Punk is back wrestling, and he's wrestling in AEW, which is amazing. So he sits at number 5. Coming at number 4 is the late Bruno Sanmartino. What else can I say about Bruno Sanmartino that already hasn't been said? Easily one of, if not one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He held the WWF Championship for a record-breaking 4,040 days. That record is still has not been broken to this very day. He lifted Haystack's Calhoun. He sold out Madison Square Garden, or he headlined Madison Square Garden 211 times, and he sold it out a record 187 times. He got his neck broken by WWE Hall of Famer, another Hall of Famer, Stan the Lariat Hansen. He had legendary matches with Ivan Koloff, Killer Kowalski. Some really good stuff. If you haven't checked out some of his matches, check them out. Number 4 is Bruno Sammartino. Coming in at number 3 is a superstar that we're actually is WWE celebrating this month, and I'm talking about The Rock. The Rock has been with the WWE for 25 years, and his list of accomplishments is undeniable. Former Intercontinental Champion, a multi-time WWE Champion, former Tag Team Champion. He won the Royal Rumble in 2000. I mean, I don't know why he's not in the Hall of Fame already. This dude is literally one of the best, and one of the best trash talkers, if you ask me. He's literally one of the best. So that's number 3, The Rock. Now, this was really, really close between the number 2 spot and the number 1 spot as who my all-time favorite wrestler is, because it flips back and forth between these two daily. Coming in at number 2 is the one, the only, the dead man, the Phenom himself, The Undertaker. This man is literally one of the most well-known names in the business and one of the most respected wrestlers of all time. He is a 7-time world champion, a multi-time tag team champion, a former hardcore champion. He won the Royal Rumble in 2007. And he had what I believe was the greatest streak that ever lived. His WrestleMania undefeated streak. He went undefeated for 25 WrestleManias, and he lost at 2 of those WrestleManias. In my opinion, he should have retired undefeated, but that's a different subject for a different time. I mean, this dude had it all, and he actually retired. In my opinion, and he even said that he has no desire to come out of retirement and return to the ring, because that would actually damage the reputation of the character. So, don't blame him there. And in my opinion, he should be in the Hall of Fame already. I'm surprised he's not in the Hall of Fame. So that's my number 2 spot, The Undertaker. Now, before I get to the number 1 spot, I got some honorable mentions here. So, honorable mentions, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Edge, Christian, Kane, Rob Van Dam, the Hardy Boys, Roddy Piper, Jimmy Snuka, and Owen Hart. They all came really close to making the list, but not quite. Like I said, this is my top 5, my opinion. So, coming in at number 1 is my all-time favorite wrestler, and I'm talking about the Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin. It flips between Stone Cold and The Undertaker, like, daily. Depends on who I'm in the mood for. So, alright, what can I say about Stone Cold that already hasn't been said? One of the best trash talker of all time, a multi-time WWE champion, a former Intercontinental champion, a former tag team champion, a Hall of Famer, and he is the only superstar to win the Royal Rumble 3 times. No one else can say that they've done it. He is, quite honestly, one of the best pro wrestlers of all time. And in my honest opinion, he is the best. And he actually can't wrestle anymore because Owen Hart broke his neck, which is pretty crazy. And also in 2002, he was supposed to lose to Brock, and he took his ball and went home, unfortunately. Even though he did that, in my opinion, he's still one of the best. Literally one of the best wrestlers of all time, and the best person to ever get on the mic and trash talk. Bottom line is, when Stone Cold talks, you shut up and listen to him. So, and I also recommend the A&E Legends episode of Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was absolutely fantastic. Definitely check it out if you haven't. So that'll do it for this episode of Wrestling Talk, guys. Thank you guys very, very much for listening or watching. If you guys haven't done so already, please comment, like, and subscribe down below. Be sure you hit the post notification bell as well. We are on the road to 200 subscribers. So thank you guys very much, and subscribe to the second channel, The Horror Movie Freak, if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys very much for watching and or listening, and I will see you guys next Tuesday for Wrestling Talk.